OK, but first to Royal Portrush, where the tee times and pairings for the first two rounds of the Open have just been announced. Jamie Weir can guide us through the all-important details alongside Paul McGinley. Good afternoon to you both.
Good afternoon to you, Vicky, from Royal Portrush. Yes, we do have those all-important tee times for round 1 and 2. We're not going to take you through all 52 tee times. We're going to focus on 4 of the most eye-catching ones, and here they are. And I suppose, Paul, the one that everybody's looking to see is where Rory McIlroy is teeing off, and he is teeing off in the afternoon on Thursday, 3:10. Rory's tee time in the afternoon. There he is, alongside Justin Thomas and Tommy Fleetwood. We'll just run through all the ones that you can see there. Xander Schauffele playing alongside the US Open champion JJ Spaun and Jon Rahm at 9:58 in the morning. Just 11 minutes after them, you've got Shane Lowry, champion last time here, of course, against the 2021 champion golfer of the year, Collin Morikawa, and the world number 1 Scottie Scheffler. And then in the afternoon, you can see just before Rory, Justin Thomas and Tommy Fleetwood, you got Bob McIntyre, runner-up at Oakmont a few weeks ago, Bryson DeChambeau, and last year's Open runner-up, Justin Rose. But Paul, let's start by talking about Rory. 6 years ago, he was off in the morning. We know what happened on this first tee. Is it better for him that he's off in the afternoon? Does it mean that he can sort of see how the morning starters are getting on and calm his nerves a bit more? I don't know.
There's 2 ways of looking at it, Jamie. One is that you watch the early morning play, get some ideas on the pin positions, how the course is playing, you develop your strategy around that. The other body of thought would be that, no, you want to get out early and you want to get it on with and get into the tournament straight away. So he's well versed, he's well experienced at this stage. It's not a big biggie one way or the other. But the thing you always look for when it comes to these links golf courses is the weather is so changeable, and you can get the wrong side of the draw. Nobody knows yet what's right and what's wrong, or if there's going to be any change in terms of good side or bad side. But at the moment, the weather looks steady. It's pretty brisk, 15-mile-an-hour wind, no more than that, with the odd shower coming in over the 4 days, but pretty mild. So we've got a pretty stable forecast, certainly as Northern Ireland and Irish weather goes.
trying to predict the weather in this part of the world is a fool's errand, that one. We've got Scottie Scheffler out in the morning, playing alongside Shane. Now, Shane was telling me yesterday how, 6 years ago he felt as if all the eyeballs were on Rory and he was able to come in under the radar. He's not under the radar now. People are expecting, he doesn't consider himself the defending champion, but he is the defending champion around this course. Yeah,
he is, and he's having a good season over on the PGA Tour. His iron play is really good. For me, it's a big iron play golf course. You got to hit your irons very well, which he did obviously when he won. Big correlation between the guys who played well in 2019, and obviously Shane was at top of that pile between them and the many greens in regulation they hit. So that plays to his strength. As a golf course he's very popular in. He spent the last 2 or 3 weeks going around Ireland playing links golf courses. He's prepared, he's ready.
And Shane loves playing alongside the big boys as well, doesn't he? Playing alongside Collin Morikawa and Scottie Scheffler, he'll love that.
Absolutely, particularly Scottie. You're out with the best player in the game, and as great as Rory has been this year, it has to be said that Scottie, the domination that Scottie has had statistically on the PGA Tour in the last 3 or 4 years is nothing that we have seen since Tiger Woods at his best, and we know how high that bar is, and we know that Rory can go, but in terms of sheer consistency and monotony of performance, Scottie Scheffler is the guy.
Yeah, absolutely. Before Shane Morikawa and Scottie Scheffler, we've got Xander Schauffele teeing off alongside Jon Rahm and JJ Spaun. I mean, this is new territory for JJ Spaun, having a sort of high-profile tee time like that. Xander Schauffele, we know that he isn't quite where he was 12 months ago. Jon Rahm, I think we saw at the PGA Championship, he just relished being back in the heat of the battle again.
Rahm would be my favourite this week. I know we got some big stars up there, and I'd love to see Rory win in his home country. But I do think that Jon Rahm is trending towards performance here. He's won 2 Irish Open championships, one of them up the road here in Port Stewart. He's got an excellent record on links golf courses. He's played 17 events. He's in almost 50% top 10s and about a 10% win ratio. So he's well versed, and his golf game is really suited to these kind of conditions. So he will be a guy I'd pinpoint, and another guy I'd pinpoint as well would be Tyrrell Hatton. Again, a guy who's had phenomenal performances. Again, 50% top 10s on links. I think he's played 35 links events in his career, and have top 10 in 50% of those with a win ratio of 10%. Again, is a high rate. So those 2 guys I would pinpoint outside of the ones we talked about with the tee times.
And Tyrrell probably more than anybody else will feel as if the US Open was the one that got away. With 2 holes to go, he really sort of not had that tournament in the palm of his hand, but he must have really fancied his chances.
Yeah, and you get a boost from that as well, Jamie. The fact that because he hasn't really contended in these majors. He's won lots of tournaments in the DP World Tour. He's performed obviously very well over in Live, but he's not really performed at the very, very elite level in these majors. And I think a little bit of impetus from playing so well at the US Open will stand him in good stead coming here.
Just that final tee time I mentioned as well, which I wanted to mention. Interesting, I saw that Victor Hovland's playing alongside Ludwig Oberg. We know what a great pairing they were in the last Ryder Cup. And Bob McIntyre's playing alongside Justin Rose, and Justin was able to sort of drag along Bob on that Friday in Rome when he wasn't playing great, and then Bob played much better in the Saturday. They're playing alongside Bryson DeChambeau, a very contrasting character to Bob McIntyre. But Bob, look, he showed at Oakmont that he is a gritty competitor, and he is licking his lips this week.
He is. He didn't have a great Scottish Open last week.
No.
He was disappointed with his performance there, but yes, absolutely gritty is the word for it. And we highlight, it's unlike other sports, we do highlight who's playing with who, because there's a comfort factor in who you're playing with in these major championships. It's not like tennis that we saw the last few weeks where you're competing against somebody across the other side of the net, and you're doing everything you can for them not to play well. In golf, you're competing against the golf course, and that's why it's important to feel comfortable mentally on a golf course. And when you're playing with somebody like you mentioned, Justin Rose and Bob McIntyre, that can help.
Yeah, absolutely. Just want to finally mention as well, Padraig Harrington gets the I don't know if it is an honour hitting the opening tee shot. I don't know if it is an honour when your alarm clock.
But they've made it into a thing, haven't they?
4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
But Paul Drake playing alongside Tom McKibben as well. Another early start for him. He had an early start last year, I seem to recall as well, and Nikolai Højgaard. So what will Paul Drake be feeling? You know him very well. How will he be feeling about hitting that opening tee shot?
Oh, no bother. No bother to Padraig. He's got plenty more Open Championship in him. He's not even thinking about stopping anytime soon. Padraig will really believe that he can win. And look, I mean, at 59 years of age, and Padraig's nowhere near that age. Tom Watson nearly won in Turnberry, and that's not that long ago. So you're not going to discard anybody from winning, and I wouldn't be surprised at all to see a Nola guy raise a gallop. They won't do it in the US Open, they won't do it in the Masters, they won't do it in the PGA Championship, but they could well do it on a links golf course. And it's no surprising. And we saw also Greg Norman in later years and at the end of his career performing so well before Padraig beat him there. I think it was at Birkdale. So don't be surprised to see some unusual names coming to the top. And if they're elder in years, all the better. Puts a bit of flavour into it.
Yeah, absolutely. Paul, thanks as always for your time. All those tee times available for you to see now on the Sky Sports Golf app. Obviously, it'll be a bit of a wait for the home fans to see Rory McIlroy tee off at 3:10 on Thursday afternoon, but they can get out of their beds nice and early and see Padraig Harrington, the last man to successfully defend the Claret Jug, get the Open Championship underway. The 153rd Open at 6:35 a.m. on Thursday morning.